Hey guys, welcome back to Colorful Dreams. I'm Dee, and for those of you who are new here, I really do hope you enjoy the content of my videos. It is a adult coloring channel, so lots of different adult coloring stuff going on in the channel. And for those of you who have been subscribed to me for a while, thank you. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate each and every one of you for your support and watching my videos and commenting. And I love to get to know each and every one of you. You guys are just what keep me going, and you guys are the ones that make me want to keep creating content. So, with that being said, today will be part 4 of my 12-year coloring journey. I have colored a lot throughout my 12 years. I had not realized, again, how much I have actually colored until I started doing these videos and, got to all my pictures and, oh my gosh. But let me tell you, it is really, really cool to see how much I have grown throughout those 12 years from the beginning till now. I'm not really big on technique, but I have watched, different people coloring on lives, and I have watched some tutorials. Like when I first started coloring, I have watched some tutorials on how to color, and there is no wrong or right way to color, just putting it out there. And your page is a masterpiece, no matter if you're just starting out or if you're 12 years in like myself. And it's not the supply that creates the page, it is you yourself, because you're the one that is actually putting the color to the paper. So remember that next time you're coloring. If you're discouraged about your art and you find yourself comparing to other colorists who have been coloring for years and you're just starting out, please remember that it's you who creates the artwork. Yes, there is an artist who draws it for you, but you put the color to the page, and every page that everybody does is amazing, and I love seeing everyone's pages on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, enough of my ranting. I know I sound like a crazy person. I'm just going on and on and on. Blah, 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 blah. I know. But I love putting it out there. I'm a huge advocate for mental health, and, I'm bipolar, as I have said in some of my videos. So, yeah, like I've said in my previous videos a while ago, I am bipolar, and it took me a while to understand myself, and let alone the bipolar diagnosis and stuff. So, but I have come to terms, a long time ago I came to terms. I was diagnosed, I was 21, I was diagnosed, and I am now 41, so 20 years ago exactly. So, it took me a while to come to terms with it, but trust me, you are not alone. Don't beat yourself up over your coloring pages. Trust me, I've done it. It doesn't get you anywhere. So, yeah. Let's just put it out there. So, let's get into this stack. Now, this stack, I never got a chance to put it in sleeves or a binder. There's actually, I have 3 folders of pages that I haven't put in sleeves and binders. I need to. I do have them. I just need to get my button gear and get it done, which I'm just being lazy. Plain and simple. I'm putting it out there. I am a lazy, lazy person. Not technically, to be honest. I'm always forever doing something and stressing about any, stuff. But I'm a mom of 5. Most of my girls have moved out. But again, I'm ranting, so we can talk as we go through the pages. All right? So let's open this up, pull the pages out, and we'll get started. All right, we are back. I apologize about the glitch and the little pause there, but I was opening it and my dog was starting to bark, and yeah, so let's get started. Now these are, just to put it out there, these are in no particular order. I don't have dates on them, so that's just putting it out there. These have been colored within the last, I'd say, 3 years. Also, I can tell you the artist of the page. I may not remember every book. I'm pretty good at, knowing what book, but because they're like this, I can't remember every book. So if I can remember the book when I'm editing, then I will put it up on the screen. If I've forgotten the name of the book or whatever the case may be, I will try to flash it across the screen during editing, and hopefully we can figure that out if I forget some of these books or where these pages were from. Also, I will tell you guys now all the supplies that I have used in all of these pictures. At some point, the supplies that I'm telling you about, I have used at some point or degree during all of these pages. So, yeah. So I have used, and I'm only telling you now at the beginning because I don't want to repeat myself all the way through. I will say, I use this type of pencil or this type of pencil on certain pages, but I'm not going to do it for every page like a completed pages video. That's going to take us forever if I do it that way, and I know I'm taking forever just rambling on, but yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys right now what I've used throughout all of these, and every once in a while I will mention them again. So I use Studio Series pencils, Marco Renoirs. If you don't know what a Marco Renoir is, this is what they look like. They are a pencil like this, and they have they don't have color names on them. They're just, but you can buy them independently because they have the UPC or barcode on them. They are absolutely beautiful pencils to work with. Let's see. They just glide, and they're kind of waxy. I think they're a waxy pencil. They could be oil based too, but those are the pens. I have to get back to using them because I really, really did love these pencils. They were absolutely beautiful pencils. So I also used Prisma Premiers, Kalours, Artezas, Brutfuners, Scpirrer Farben, Star Joys, the regular Star Joys, not the golds, because at the time I didn't have the golds. Now, for that was just for coloring the page and doing all the, coloring the main subject and everything around it. And then for backgrounds, I used chalk pastel. For some of the pages, I also used Ohuhu alcohol markers, and I love my paint pens, and in Canada we have the Aroic paint pens, and that's what I used for paint pens, for detailing and everything else. I'll put all the pencils that I used in the description when I go to post and edit this. I will put the names of the pencils that I use, so don't fret if you missed something that I mentioned. It will be in the description section. So with that being said, let's go. So this page here is from Mei Yu. The Christmas book she has. I think they're Christmas buddies or something like that. And if you guys know Mei Yu, she usually frames her pages and she always has like a little, name or something to go with it. This one's called Bundle Up. Now, this page was just the giraffe and then the hat and the mitts here and the star and the earmuffs. I drew in the circles myself, and the background I used chalk pastel. I really loved how he turned out. I was super, super happy with him. I love the way Mei Yu draws her characters. They are absolutely adorable. Oh, so sweet. Let me just fix this here to get some lighting. All right. So yeah, there's that one. And the next one is from Bake Mono. It is The Adorable Kingdom of Desserts or something or other by Bake Mono. And I really had fun with this page. I used chalk pastels for the background. And of course I found candy colors, and I used a lot of the softer, lighter colors for the candy and the cake and stuff. I wanted it to be really soft. I saw it as like kind of like for a baby's room that you can frame. So that's what I saw it as. And then I used my paint pen, and I used a pencil and I drew the border around, and then I used my paint pen to fill it in. And I really, really loved how this one turned out as well. But yeah, there's that one by Bake Mono. I'll also post in the description, if I remember, all of the artists to post, but I will do my best to post all of the artists that I mention here today. This is another Bake Mono one. This is from his Amazingly something. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Of course, I cannot find it now that I want it, right? It is this one here. I apologize. The Amazing World of Fantastic Creatures. And that's where this little picture is from. And, I used alcohol marker for, the sky, and pencil for most of it, white paint pen. The background is chalk pastel, but I created my own cloud stencil, for those of you who would like to do cloud backgrounds or whatever. You can buy the stencil on Amazon, but I preferred to I copied out a template on Google, and I saved it, and then I printed it off, cut it out, and then I took it and I traced it on like a flimsy piece of cardboard. So anything that, snacks would come in, or like a cheap, strong plastic, something like this, where it's strong, and that's what I use for my cloud backgrounds. And I didn't have to pay a dime for it because it was just a template and, you know, chalk pastels and cardboard. Oh, and I also used a gold metallic paint pen for the gold stars. But all right, this one here is, I believe it's from Happy Ant Publishing. Oh, I can't remember the name of the book, but if I can find it, I will flash it on the screen when I go to edit it. The mug is paint pen. This is alcohol marker down on the bottom. Chalk pastel for this part here. This is all paint pen. The little candies are all colored pencil. That guy is the chocolate. The straw, yeah, the straw is, but the bubbles and the drips in the cup are all paint pen. As you can see, I had a little bit of a mishap because my hand smudged it. I forgot that it was still wet. I do that sometimes when I outline things and I just keep on going, you know, trying to outline more. And sometimes I forget that, you know, it doesn't dry or it's not like a pencil, and zip, there goes my hand. And you can notice the difference from my pages, you know, from say 3 years ago, because this is this pile, and from here on out, it's from about 3 years ago on. Huge difference from my color choices and my color palettes and the way I color and do things, but it makes me happy to just throw the color on the page. That's the part that makes me happy. And yeah, don't get me wrong, 12 years later, I still stress and compare myself to others. And I really do stress, and when that happens, I get into a coloring funk. And when I get into the coloring funk, it's really hard sometimes to get out of it. So, I know Jamie's Coloring Love just posted a video about how to get out of a coloring slump. If that's the case and you're going through one, go check out that video. She talks about a lot of great points and things, so definitely go check that out. But try not to compare yourself. I know it's so much easier said than done, but color for you, color to be happy, color, you know. Don't worry about what everybody else is going to think, or everybody. I mean, if you want to color a rainbow black, whatever, go for it. You want to color a fox purple, color the fox purple. There's no right or wrong. There's no, nobody said you have to color things as they are in life. You don't have to color trees with a brown tree trunk and green leaves. Go crazy. I do. And they turn out amazing. And you'll see throughout my pictures that you will see that I go out of the norm, because if you do everything normal, it's just bloody well boring. If we were all the same, this world would be freaking boring. So why not stir up a little bit of it along the way, right? That's my opinion. But this is from one of my pastel goth books. I can't remember exactly which one. I think it's my Zorro Rojo books, but I used alcohol marker for most of it, except this little guy and the heart and the wings. I used alcohol marker, and then I used my paint pens to outline and do the work. But the only thing that is pencil is this heart, this little guy here, and the wings and the tail. That's about it. And that's what that one turned like, and I absolutely love it. And I stuck to a kind of candy, I looked up a palette, like a candy colored palette, and this palette came up. So I just kind of, I didn't follow it exact, but this one came up and I stuck to similar colors. So I was really happy with this one. This one was a quick one, actually. It was for M. Bean's one color challenge. And I was trying to find something to color, and I didn't know what to do for a one color challenge, but I wanted something pretty simple and quick. And then I found this picture, which is Tabitha, from Tabitha Barnett's big book. I think it's Big Little Book or something like that of square mandalas. So I found this one, printed it off. I used my Ohuhu alcohol markers, and then I took a paint pen, a pink one, and I outlined it. It was a pink metallic one, and I outlined it, and that is that one. That one was a quick one, but it was for a fun challenge, and I didn't have to stress about it. Oops. Where are they? Oh. This one here is from Circle of Animals coloring book. It's by Maggie Swanson. And I actually bought a second copy of this book because I really loved it. And I wanted to redo the pictures, some of the pictures that I had already done. So with that being said, I bought a new book entirely. So this one was strictly pencil. Even the background is pencil, I believe. No, it's alcohol marker. The blue is alcohol marker, but everything else is colored pencil. And I really, really did enjoy myself. I didn't really do much with shading or anything. I just wanted to color, and that's what I did. I did try to give the cat a little bit of a glow. I mean, I could do better. I could probably do better now, but that's what I did back then. You know, and I was trying new things. And I was testing my, you know, testing what I liked during coloring and what I didn't. And this is how this one turned out. So this is from the same book by Maggie Swanson. One of my favorite pictures I've ever colored. When I first finished this picture, I was so shocked at myself, to be honest. Like the color of the camels, everything just blew me away. Pardon me. Yeah, and even the way it blended, it was, I couldn't believe my eyes. But again, Circle of Animals by Maggie Swanson. And I used colored pencil for all of this and this and this and the trees. And then I did alcohol marker for the background here, the sunset. And I used chalk pastel for around. And I believe these here, the pencils I used on this page, I believe were my Brutfuners. Just my street Brutfuners. I'll show you the ones I'm talking about. Whoops. These ones here. These Brutfuners here. Because I had 180 of them. So I used a lot of them, and they had lots of colors that I could use. So I was playing with the colors and testing them, and this is the outcome. And I was super happy about it, so. That's how that one turned out. This one was from a Sally Berry book, and the reason it looks the way it does is, so I believe in one of the Facebook coloring groups, they had a challenge that was color a page with your left hand. And you needed to take a video of you doing it with your left hand. So this was before I started my YouTube channel. So I said, well, instead of doing a video, I'll just do it during one of my lives because I used to do lives on my YouTube group, my Facebook group, twice a week. So I said, well, I'll do this while I'm doing a live. So that's what I did. So here I am with my left hand coloring on a live, and, you know, I did pretty good. I mean, I'm not left-handed. I can't use my left hand for crap. But the alcohol markers, I mean, they were a huge help. But, I mean, this is how it turned out, and I did a lot better than I had, you know, expected or anticipated. So I was proud of myself for this one, to be honest. For using my left hand, it was, you know, pretty good. And I even, like, blended some colors, so took me a bit, but I got there. It's the outlining that killed me, but yeah, I got there, and it was fun. It really was. So another one of my favorite pictures. This is from Emily Chawa's Life in a Jar. It's from that book. Just to recap, that these are pages within the last 3 years. Again, they're not in order, and they can go up and down, you know, from a couple months ago to years ago to, you know, maybe 9 months ago. It just varies, to be honest. So, you know, it's just within the last 3 years. That's all of these pictures. In the next few videos that I'm going to show you are within that time frame. So anyways, back to this. This is from Emily Chawa's Life in a Jar book, and I really love how all of these turned out, to be honest. Regardless, I mean, again, it's nice to see your progress throughout however long you've been coloring. And yeah, so like I said at the beginning, all of those supplies, it's one of those. And I did use alcohol marker and then shaded on top. That was the difference with this one, is I used alcohol marker as a base, and then I took my what was it, I think it was my Brutfuners, and I shaded on top of the alcohol markers, which is a technique that I use more often nowadays than I didn't even know about it back, you know, a couple years ago, and it was probably something I wasn't even thinking about or even trying back then. Now I love doing alcohol marker base on bigger areas. Smaller areas, I can get away with pencil, but bigger areas, you base with your alcohol marker and then shade. Oh, so much easier on your hand and so much more freedom for shading too and stuff like that. It's really cool to do, and it's one of my favorite techniques. So, but yeah, that's how this one turned out. Again, alcohol marker base. Let's see. Yeah, for this and the curtains and the window. And like I said, for the smaller areas like the cat, the pillow, this part here, the light bulb, and all this, like all the thinner areas, I just colored with colored pencil. This one is a Julia Scpirrer one. I think it's from, what book is it? Her fantasy fairy tale book, I believe. And I used my Prismas on this, and it was all pencil. I didn't use any marker. It was all pencils. And it took me a few days, but I had fun with it. I really did have fun. I loved these little mice and just chilling and, you know, going about their lives. And yeah. So there's that. Then there's this one. It's from a book I found. It is called Kawaii Glass, and alcohol marker base and colored pencils on top. And I was and paint pen. And I was super happy with myself for the lemon and the orange and the lime. And yeah, I was really happy with the way it turned out. So I love this gloss. It's so cute. Oh, seriously, are my pages upside down? Like, seriously. What the hell? Sorry, guys. All right. Whoops. Sorry about that. All right, this one, I believe is from Sabine Designs, Christmas Joy book. And I'm not sure, it could be an Edwina McNamee, so sorry if I screwed that up. But again, chalk pastel. I used soft colors, alcohol marker base, as you can see on the back. And then I shaded over top with colored pencil and chalk pastel. And yeah, this was a fun one. It was a gingerbread house challenge, and yep. And I didn't want to go typical gingerbread house colors because I like to be different, and I like to do things, you know, my way. And I love the way my way turns out because it's unique and it's mine. That's it. And another one of my favorites because it is pastel goth, and I love creepy, weird, odd creatures and beings. Yeah, all of it was based in alcohol marker, and then I used paint pen all the way around it. And again, I had fun. And I love the way it looks when you shade with over top of alcohol markers. So chalk pastel gradient in the background. And a very small color palette going on. I didn't want too much color going on, so I chose my favorite colors and I threw them to the page. So this one was a complete blech. That's why this is all blurred out with a metallic pen, because I really mucked up on this one. But not every page can be a masterpiece. And remember that as well. Not every page can be a masterpiece. I think all of us need to have that pasted in or around our coloring space. Not every page can be a masterpiece. But this is from, where was it? I can't remember the name of the book, but it's from a mythical creatures. Actually, I might have it. Give me un momento, s'il vous plaît. So it is from Nova Dawn Designs, or Nova Dawn Creations, this book here. It's a mythical hybrid creatures book, and it's the only page I've colored out of it so far. I really do want to color more pages, but I'm not sure how to go about it. But yeah, so that is that page. I must have colored the background. Yeah, I did. I think I used paint pen. Yep, I used paint pen and colored pencils for the entire thing. So yeah, another one of my favorite pages I've done. Bricks are done in alcohol marker, so is her skin. I believe her shirt is, but over top of her shirt I took like a dingy gray, like a gray brown, and I went over the bright colors of the rainbow with that marker, and it dulled everything down, and I was really happy with it. It is from, this page is from Scary Trick Publishing. It's from their Chibi Girls coloring book, or Haunted Chibi Girls. And yeah, so most of it, even her hair, I think is based in, yeah, in alcohol marker. So I love doing this one. I let my creative side just really let go and let it take the reins. And sometimes letting your brain take the reins when you color is, by the time you realize the page is done, and you may not, you know, have been thinking it, but that's the way your brain went, and it turns out absolutely beautifully sometimes. Most of the time in my case, but everyone is different. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, toot my own horn, you know. I'm trying to be upbeat for you guys and happy, and because who wants to watch, you know, somebody's channel when they talk like this and they're not happy and they're bored and they really don't want to do the video, but they're doing it because, yeah, I don't want that. So, and again, I've done videos like that. I've replayed them back after I posted them. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Why? Just why? Anyways. Moving on. Pardon me, guys. This is from Morgan O'Brien's book. Oh gosh. Grogu. His Grogu book. And I used all colored pencils for this. And some glaze that I had bought. This is the first time I used glaze. I had seen people using the glaze, and I went out and bought some to try it to see, you know, what the hype was about. And I liked the effect. I really do. I didn't put a lot on. I just, you know, did a little with a paintbrush. And I used colored pencils. I believe they were the Brutfuners. Yeah, the Brutfuners. And the dots in the background I created, and that's my paint pens that I used. But yeah, it was fun. I didn't do much shading, but I liked it. This one is from, I believe, Happy Ant Publishing as well. And again, my pastels. I absolutely love pastel colors together. Don't ask me. I just love that soft pastel look, and the colors together beside each other, just mwah, perfect. This little guy, his eyes were calling to me when I was flipping through the book and looking at it, and he's like, pick me, pick me. So yeah, so I believe it's an apple pie, but there's an orange there, so I'm not sure. Is that, you know, a mystery pie? But the pie's got a happy face, so yeah, I used the alcohol marker base, some pencil shading, and I think the plate is alcohol marker. Yeah, it's all alcohol marker, the plate. But, and I think it's, yeah, it's alcohol marker background, so. I found a lot of different artists and started spreading my wings with, like, trying new artists and publishers, and you know, testing the waters a little bit more within the last 5 years. I mean, I did when I first started coloring, don't get me wrong. I did, but I always seemed to come back because it was more of a comfort thing, that I felt comfortable coloring certain artists or publishers' artwork. And within the last, you know, I'd say 5 or 6 years, I've been, you know, branching out a little bit more, and I'm kind of glad I have, because I have now a selection of different genres and things that I can color depending on my mood. So I'm kind of glad I went that route. So this is a picture from a book I got. It was like a kid's coloring book. I don't know where it went, to be honest, but yeah, so I was just trying to add color to paper, and my favorite animal is a koala. So I used paint pen for the clouds, the background. I used paint pen. Alcohol marker for him and the heart, and these two here, and the grass and the lollipop and the tree. But I also added the embellishments to the koala. They weren't there. I mean, some of it was, but I added most of the white to it where I thought would look right. So, and I was happy with the turnout of him. And again, it was just simple, easy coloring, and I really enjoyed it. So this one was kind of, I had mixed feelings because I was really upset I did the black background because it didn't make it turn out the way I wanted. It kind of, everything just kind of got dulled down, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. But this one is, yeah, alcohol marker for the balloons and their skin, but the rest is all colored pencil on all of them. It is by Tyson Art, but that's how he turned out. But that's how we learn, right? You make mistakes and then you learn from them, especially in the coloring community, and never be afraid to ask for advice or anything like that. This one, it's the only color by number page I did. It was Color Questopia, I believe. Had a new book coming out, and I printed this off because I was bored one day and didn't know what to color, so this was the freebie page, so I printed it off and I colored it using my Ohuhu markers. Nothing extravagant or exciting about it. It's color by number. So I'm not a color by number girl, if you can tell. This was very well loved about 2 years ago when I posted it, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago. These colors just, I don't know. I was coloring it and I was just pulling certain colors, and this is how it turned out. It is by Dina Stone. It's by the 100, it's from the 100 Patterns book by Dina Stone. And yeah, this was the outcome. And I do love the brightness and the way the colors work together. I really don't know how I exactly achieved it, but I mean, I just kind of went for it, and that's how it turned out. Plain and simple, that's all I can say. I mean, don't get me wrong, it turned out great, but this one here was my very first buddy color with Disney Megs. It was when I first started my YouTube channel. And Disney Megs was one of the first ones that came to me and welcomed me to the coloring community on YouTube and said, hey, I was wondering if you're interested, if you'd like to do a buddy color. I said, okay, sure, no problem. What book would you like? And she said, well, do you have any Alexander Franzise's books? I said, yep. And this is when I believe Country Chibis had just come out, and I had just gotten mine. She said, what about one from this one? I said, sure. And this was our very first buddy color together, and my very first, YouTube welcome buddy color. So I really love the colors I chose for her. I got to do this color combo more because it's really nice together. And in the background I used inks, and a dabber to do the background. So yeah. Yeah, we got the next few pages are going to be Alexandra Franzi's pages. So another one by Alexandra. It's from one of her Christmas books. Oh gosh, I believe it's Alexandra. Why can I not remember this page? I think it's an Alexandra page, or from a Jade Summer book, one or the other. Anyways, again, the non-traditional outside the box coloring, because, well, why go with the norm? So, and I sound like a bloody broken record with the repeating, because you can only say shit so many times. Excuse my language, but yep, same as I did. The background is all alcohol marker. The rest of this is all pencil. And I really loved this color combo with the bright green and the blue and the purple and the pink. So I kind of stuck with it. So this one is from Alexandra Franzi's Cute and Magical coloring book. This was one of my favorite pages from the book, and I love how it turned out. Yeah, I only used alcohol marker for the ground. The rest is all colored pencil, and I was super proud of the outcome. So, chalk pastel, and then I took an alcohol, or a metallic paint pen, and drew the little hieroglyphs in the back there. And another one by Alexandra, and I wanted to go with blue and purple together are my favorite. So you'll see a lot, as you've seen, a lot of blue and purple together. I do yellow and pink, and then I add the greens. They're all my favorite colors, so yeah. And chalk pastel in the background. Again, I used a lot of chalk pastel for backgrounds. Most of my pages are colored in pencils. A lot of them are ones that are within the last year or so. They have a lot of alcohol marker basing and colored pencil over top, but most part in the background is chalk pastel. This is from Cute and Hoppy, and yeah, this is all alcohol marker. There is no colored pencil on here, just straight alcohol marker. I didn't really want to do the pencil, so I stuck with the marker, and then I used my stencil and did the clouds in the background. So yeah, sometimes you just don't feel like doing anything but coloring with marker or just pencil, however you want to go. This was one of my favorite pages, and it still is to this day. I absolutely love how this one turned out. It is the only one page, sorry, I've only done 2 pages, but I had just gotten my Nione pencils. I did not realize they were water-based pencils, or watercolor pencils. So when I, read the instructions and stuff, I realized they were watercolor. So I said, okay, let's try them. So I used them. I, colored a little bit on the page with the Nione, and then I took my paint pen, the thing that I have, if I can find it. It went somewhere. Here it is. Oh, jeez. So I used this, my little paint brush pen, and I, worked it out, and I loved how they were turning out. So then I did it with the bottle here, and this wand here, and the crystal, and then I took one of my other pencils to shade around the corners because I wanted to give it, because it's a spell book, so I wanted to give it like an older kind of dingier feel. So by the time I was done, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was so proud of myself, literally. And this writing here, I did that myself. I added all this little writing. All of the little writing, I believe. Most of it. There's parts of it that I added, but... And this is alcohol marker right here, the rainbow and chalk pastel, but... Oh, I love this page. I absolutely adore it. Anyways, moving on. So here's another page that I just wanted to do alcohol marker with, and I had just received, I remember it because I had just received my first Ohuhu alcohol marker pastel set. It was when they first came out with their first set, and I wanted to have fun with them, so I wanted to find an easy page, so I found this one, Cute and Magical, because I loved that book. I still do. And I went, tested the colors out on here, and I was really happy with the outcome. With this, the background, I just took on, excuse my words. I took a chalk pastel and shaved off a bit. Then I used a cotton ball and I rubbed it in there, and then I did the pink over top, and I did that. And that's how I got the outcome, but I was really happy. So yeah. This was another page that I wanted to test some new alcohol markers on. It wasn't Ohuhu, but it's another set that I had bought. It was cheap, and they turned out well, but even the fire, it's got pink in it because I like different. So this is how this little guy turned out. Same book, Cute and Magical, paint pen, chalk pastel. This one here, I wasn't too happy with the blue of the horse. I wanted it lighter, but it turned out a little darker than I had wanted, but it was what it was, and I mean, it turned out all right, just it wasn't what I had in my head, but you win some, you lose some, right? Again, it's not that it looks horrible, it's just not the color I wanted, but yeah, again, the chalk pastel background. If you guys want, if anybody's interested in maybe me showing them how I do my chalk pastel backgrounds like this, I mean, it's not difficult, but I can show you, because some people, when they get chalk pastels, they'll use them, but sometimes they just give up on them because, one, they can get very messy, two, sometimes, it doesn't do what you want it to do and stuff like that. So if anybody's interested, let me know and I can do that for you. Another Alexandra Franzese one. This was, again, this is the other page. Remember I said there are two pages that I did with my Nione watercolor pencils. This is it. So I used the Nione pencils on the Wizard, but what I did was I dipped the tip in some water and I colored and shaded. And that's how I got this weird effect on his outfit. And then I used my cloud stencil and chalk pastel. But this here is colored pencil, and so is this. But his beard and even his face is the Nione watercolor pencil. I mean, he didn't turn out bad, but I'm not a watercolor person either, so. Another one of my favorite pages that I've done. These clouds here with my paint pen, that turned out better than, I was just scribbling to create a frame around him because I didn't like the way it was looking, so I created this around him. I I wanted him to look like the genie from Aladdin, so I colored him, you know, the blue with the red, and then I know he has gold, but I went with the blue and the red, and then I did this in gold. I like the outcome. And chalk pastel. I just did a little bit of chalk pastel and kind of used my cotton ball to kind of rub it out to give it that faded look. This was actually another picture with buddy color with Disney Megs, and we decided to do this one. I had fun with it. Alcohol marker for this part, like the bar, but I used, yeah, just for the bar, and then I used just colored pencils for the rest of it. Alright, moving on from Alexandra Franzese. This is Alison Corbyn, and it is from Alison Corbyn's Chibi book, and this one is mostly alcohol marker base with colored pencil over top, alcohol marker for the background, and outlining is my paint pen. But yeah, super cute. I love her Chibi girls, and I love with the blue hair against the pink drips. Oh, so sweet. This is one of my pages as well that got a lot of love, and I was very proud of myself. This is colored pencil. All of this is, yeah, colored pencil, except for, what is it? The lion's mane. I colored with alcohol marker base and then shaded it with my other pencils. But the rest of the page is all colored pencil. And then I took my chalk pastels and my cloud stencil, and I went in the background, and oh, I love the turnout. One of my favorite pages. I need to frame this. I want to get my whole studio or my area and frame all my pictures. Not all of them, but some of them, the really ones that I'm really proud of, and hang them around. But I wanted to do that for a while, and I know some of you say, well, I've done that already, but not everybody has, and you know, I'd like a chance to do that, so eventually. Sorry, my voice is getting hoarse. This one is an April Amber page. If you guys know me well, you guys know I love anything Alice in Wonderland. Any Alice in Wonderland page I love to do, depending on the artwork. But April Amber's work is just, that's not a no-brainer. This is all colored pencil except for their faces, to be honest. Everything and the base of the bush here. But the rest of it is all colored pencil and, yeah, an alcohol marker for the background. But I was really happy with the outcome of this. I believe I used my Brutfuners and my Starjoys on this one. Another April Amber page, and this was all alcohol marker with some pencil, but most of it is alcohol marker. Yeah, all alcohol marker base, and then for certain parts I just used pencil to shade, but I didn't use it all. I used mostly pencil on her and her hair, her backpack, the cat, some on the basket, and the tent and the tree. Another April Amber page, and again, alcohol marker base, and some stuff is just straight colored pencil and paint pen for outlines to cover up the black lines. Now we're getting into the Leriza May stuff. This is from Leriza May's which one is it? I don't know if it's the Kawaii Goth or the Kawaii Fantasy. But this was all alcohol marker. No colored pencil, I don't believe. No, it's all alcohol marker. And I gave it a little bit of a glow. I used a light frost blue to give it a bit of a glow around the moon. But I love the color I used for... This was also when I got another... Because I loved my pastels so much, I got another set of the pastels. And I used them for this, so... This was a well-loved page on Facebook. Got a lot of likes. This was Leriza May from her Chibi Girls book. And I did rainbow for the sunflowers, and then some of them I just went straight. But alcohol marker base for the tree and the sky and the grass. But she's all pencil, and all the flowers are colored pencil. But I was just happy. I mean, that's all that matters when you're coloring. When you're in a slump, you just don't, nothing, doesn't matter what you do or how you color or what you choose to color, it just never works out. And I'm always saying, and it could just be me, but I know if, depending on the mood when I'm my mood when I'm coloring, it really deflects and shows through your pages. I find if I'm feeling down and kind of crummy, I choose darker, more dull colors. When I'm having a better day or a good day, like, you know, today and stuff, I use happy colors. And it depends on what I'm coloring and the page itself, too. But this one, I did these colors because of the kind of picture it is. And I was happy with it, to be honest. A lot of alcohol marker and some pencil work. And some paint pen, of course. But it's a Leriza May one. Yep. This is an Edwina McNamee one. This is, I believe, yeah. So this is when I started to test myself, I guess you can say. My goal at the beginning of the new year was to really branch out and try other coloring books that have been sitting in my arsenal of coloring books for a while. And I just overlook all the time because it's just something too much for me, or I couldn't see myself coloring it, So, this Edwina McNamee page, I got the Unicorn coloring book by Edwina McNamee, and I decided to do this girl, and I used alcohol marker for the background, then I shaded with colored pencil to give it that kind of, what's the word, that glow almost. And it took me 3 or 4 days, but I did a little at a time, and by the time I was done, I was really proud of myself and happy with the outcome, to be honest. And that's when I started to realize I don't need to doubt myself or question myself when it comes to coloring. Just go in, you know, choose the page. If it's, you know, something like this is calling to you, you know, color the page slowly and eventually it'll come to you. This one is one of my favorites, and I was intimidated by it at first because I wasn't sure color scheme until I really looked at it, and I decided I wanted to go with pastels for it, and I absolutely loved the outcome. I do want to recolor this page, though. I do. And try it differently, but this inspired, I think it was Star Sketch. Could have been Brandy from Color by Brandy, but it inspired somebody, and it made my day because that was the first time that anybody had said that I had inspired them, and it absolutely made my day, like I said. So, and I believe the pencils that I used, I had ordered my Indra Creative pencils, because I'm absolutely in love with pastel pencils, pastel colored pencils. Doesn't matter what brand, whatever, I'm all over it as soon as I see it, because I love my pastels. But I had just gotten the Indra Creative pencils, and this whole page was colored with just them, and oh, I love it. So yeah. This one is another Edwina McNamee page from her Unicorns book. I wasn't overly happy with this blue and purple, but I liked the way this little guy turned out with the blue. It's actually one of my favorite color combos together, to be honest. And I used some of the glaze that I bought. You can see that. You see that glaze? And I used paint pen for the border. And again, I took my chalk pastel for the background, used yellows, and then I used a little bit of the pink to go around. But yeah. This was for a Land Before Time challenge on a Facebook group. Let's think something on it. And I colored this guy for, what's his name? Not Ducky, Spike. I colored Spike. And I tried to keep it Spike to, but it's all alcohol marker, this one. I'm just checking my time. This one here is from Jade Summer's Tattoos, I believe. It could be from Ava Brown's tattoo coloring book. But really took a while with this. I wanted to make sure the fox was kind of fox colored and the cream and stuff. And then I used my pastels for kind of like a soft little, but I was really happy with the way the fox turned out. That was my main focus, was the fox. Everything else was kind of, I wasn't really worried about. It was this guy right here, and I was happy with the butterfly as well, so yeah. Another one of my favorites of Jade Summer. This was a buddy color with a friend of mine on Facebook, and we colored this page together, and I loved the color combo. And I did her arms, the fishnet. I put a dark blue down, and then I did over top a light blue, and it gave it that cool effect. And I mean, my shading wasn't the greatest, but that's how I loved doing my shading and highlights at the time. I still do it every once in a while, but yeah, I was happy with it. Another one of my favorites from Jade Summer, and it was this little guy. Oh, he's so cute. I went for a Lisa Frank kind of approach with this guy, and he got a lot of love on Facebook. And when, a page you post gets a lot of love, it gives you that much more energy and a boost of confidence when you get all that love. It gives you a huge boost of confidence to color more the way you are coloring, or, either way. It just helps just lift you up and want to color more. So, yeah, I did some alcohol marker and colored pencil, of course, over top, and paint pen. This is a Deborah Muller page. I wish I had done her wings, like, because I didn't want to go too much red and orange on her. So I was trying to find different colors that would go with it. I should have gone yellow or something with the wings, yellow and blue, and just stuck with the yellow and blue with her, but I didn't. It is what it is. I mean, her hair turned out amazing to me, but the rest of it is just meh. One of my favorites, of course, because it's Pastels, from Deborah Muller, and her hair. I love the way her hair turned out. No idea why, I just love the picture in general, but yeah, alcohol marker base and shaded in colored pencil. And this was done with a friend of mine, Winifred, in mind, because she's always a strong woman and she's very independent and she's single and doesn't need a man to do anything for her. She can do it herself. So when I saw this picture and it said girl power, her hair was kind of like a bluish purpley kind of color. So I went with that and I stuck to this blue kind of lime bright green color palette, and I loved the outcome. Honestly, the end result was, you know, it's funny how much you can surprise yourself. I mean, you can be coloring the page, you know, the whole time, but it blows you away when it's done. You're like, oh wow. I mean, you've been watching it the whole time, but yeah, you didn't get around to, you know. All right, we're going to try to whip through these as fast as possible, because I'm already at an hour and 10 minutes here, or hour and 6 minutes. So this is another Deborah Muller page, chalk pastel for the background, alcohol marker base, like I said, chalk pastel, and paint pens. And this hippo, I mean, I wanted this guy to be a little different than this one, so yeah. Another Deborah Muller page. This was just straight coloring, to be honest. It was a mix of alcohol marker, chalk pastel, and colored pencil, but it was just straight coloring. No stressing over, you know, highlights or outlines or any of that. It was just color to be happy, color for your zen, color just to keep calm. So this one is chalk pastel for the background, and the whole thing is done in pencil. It was a freebie on Deborah Muller's group, Facebook group. And yeah, again, this, you know, I was just happy. Yeah, I need to get back to this kind of coloring. And this Deborah Muller from her Unicorns book, colored pencil. Even the background is colored pencil, to be honest. And I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, I can't say I gotta get back to this, because I have and am back to coloring for me and being happy about it. Not because everybody else wants me to color or, you know, whatever. I do it for me, and I do it to de-stress and to calm and as therapy for my bipolar, because my brain goes a mile a minute with bipolar. Your brain is pulled 50 different directions because you're always worrying, always thinking, always, you know, planning to say, you know, I have to do this in a week, or I have to do that tomorrow, I have to do that in 2 days, and da-da-da-da-da. So coloring kind of slows my brain down and makes me focus on one particular item. So this was a group exclusive page. Also, it was for a color palette challenge that was in Deborah Muller's Facebook group a couple of years ago, and this is how I colored her. So, another page straight colored, colored pencil and chalk pastel, and again, I enjoyed myself though. This is one of my first Deborah Muller pages, to be honest, this one here. It's the Alice in Waterland book, and yeah, chalk pastel, and I enjoyed myself, I really did. I added the polka dots to her tail, and yeah, I really liked the way I did her tail and stuff, so super fun. Now we're coming to the Kameliya Angelkova pages, which are tons. Alcohol marker base and colored pencils. I believe most of the pencils that I used are my black barrel Brutfuners that I used for most of these, and my Ohu alcohol markers. But I really liked, I had seen somebody do a snake like this or something like or other in a Facebook group, and I really wanted to try the color like the way it was, and it worked out really well, so I was really happy. And then I was like, well, I don't want to do a brown tree like the door's brown, I really don't. So I opted out for the pink. So yeah, this was a buddy color at some point with Jamie's Coloring Love, and I believe it was Jamie's Coloring Love. Could have been Disney Megs, one or the other. But yeah, I didn't use alcohol marker base, so everything was colored in colored pencil and chalk pastel for the background. I like how the tent turned out. I love the owl and the bear. I was super happy with the way the bear's color turned out. This one was a real oopsie, what the crap were you thinking? Yeah, this isn't Kameliya Angelkova, but yeah, I was not proud of this one at all. It went so badly in so many different directions that I just like, I threw up my hands, so I was like, I don't give a crap anymore. I'm done. So, moving on with that page, that atrocity. This was a buddy color with Disney Megs from Christmas Miniatures. I think it was for Christmas in July, and we chose pictures from Christmas Miniatures, and these are the pictures. I think it was last year we chose these pictures, to be honest, for Christmas in July, but I used alcohol marker base for the camel, and the rest of it is all colored pencil, the cacti and the hats and the, yeah. Another one, we did these two together for that month, and the background is actually watercolor pencil in the background, and the rest of it is all colored pencil. You can hear that crinkle from the paint, or the water paint. So yeah, there's that one. This one turned out all right if I hadn't have done the pink and the orange in the background. I wish I didn't go so dark with the pink and the orange, because it kind of blended the giraffe into the background. So, but these parts here, of course, I added, and the monkey is like yellow. I didn't want a yellow face for him, but with the orange and the pink mixing in with the color I had for the face, it kind of turned him yellow. So this one here, I was trying to do a circle around this little guy. It was a bigger circle than I had anticipated. And I did the background, these stripes, I did that with alcohol marker. And I outlined him in paint pen. I was trying to go with like tricolor blue on the hammock, and the balloon didn't blend the way I wanted it to, but again, you win some, you lose some. Sometimes things don't work out. You just keep on trucking. Don't let it stress you out. Just keep on going. Another Kameliya Angelkova. I wanted the spots to be very funky. And then I realized I forgot the feet. Yeah. So I did her bows, his giraffe cut, like his spot color, and then vice versa with this guy. And I used fluorescent. I think these were my Kalours I used, but I had fun. I kind of tried to reverse colors in certain circumstances, so yeah, it was fun. Straight colored, nothing, you know. One of my favorites that I colored from, I think it's the Safari book, and I didn't want to go black and white zebras, so I went with these colors here, and I was happy with it. And the background is alcohol marker, and I did all the little dots in the moon, and I was really happy with the outcome. So yeah, my flamingo love one, I added glitter and some heart glitter that I had, and I tried to add a little bit of black like some flamingos have. It wasn't working the way I had in my head, or I'd seen it in my head, so yeah. So I just kind of gave up there and just let it be the way it was. And chalk pastel for the background. This was from 50 Christmas Elves. It was my first page in the book, and I absolutely loved this little guy. And yeah, sometimes I wish there were doubles for Kameliya Angelkova in some of her books, because I'd love to recolor this guy differently now, but yeah. This one was fun. I used mostly alcohol marker on this guy and then outlined in paint pen. Yeah, it was all alcohol marker and then paint pen outline and background. This one I did not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago from this year, and I thought these were flowers, so I colored them flower colors. Come to find out they were mushrooms, and yeah, but it was done. What was done was done, and that's what I was sticking to. And yeah, so colored these little mice, used some chalk pastels, and voila, and the little ladybug right there, so cute. Yeah, so the background wasn't supposed to be like this. Something happened and I had to cover it up, and oh my gosh, it was just a major fail with the background, and I didn't want the background the way it is. I wanted something different. I actually wanted my chalk pastels for the background, but because this just doesn't work for me. I mean, the scarecrow turned out cute, but the rest of it is kind of like meh. One of my favorite things to do from Kameliya Angelkova's books is the enchanted doors from every book that she has out. There's always one or two enchanted doorways. If you know any of or have seen any of Kameliya's books, there are. So usually I aim for the enchanted doors, and this is this one, And like I said before, you'll see a lot of blues and purples together because they're one of my favorite color combos. And I usually throw pinks in there, but I gave this a little bit of a glow. I did an alcohol marker base on the door because it was a little easier. It is easier to color a base and then over top with your pencils, but I really do like my enchanted door. Another Kameliya one. This was a buddy color with Jamie's Coloring Love, I believe. At the beginning of the year, to be honest. Or before Christmas, something like that. But, yeah. And I used some glaze, alcohol markers for the leaves. But I believe, yeah, the rest of it was all colored pencil. And I just used a very light layer of glaze to kind of give it that honey shine. This one was a couple years ago, I believe it was. No, I think it was last year I did this one. And this, the way it is, wasn't what I had in mind. I was trying to go like square, but being dummy me, I just kind of haphazardly just, you know, and that's how it turned out. But can't say it's overly bad, but, and if I could, I would have shaded a little darker on these just to give it a little bit. We are getting into the daily art hour pages. This one was all alcohol marker, and I blended my alcohol marker, and daily art hour on Facebook was blown away actually by this page, and I didn't do anything extravagant with it, but they were just so blown away by it that they were just raving about this picture. It was, I mean, I found Daily Art Hour when they first came out on Amazon, and I had bought their books, about 4 months before anybody even knew or, you know, heard about them. And I ended up working with Daily Art Hour, and I started sharing their books, and they sent me their books and everything like that. And they have been awesome to work with. They are so generous and sweet, and they love seeing everybody's pages. So if you are interested in any of the, you know, any of the pictures that I'm going to show you here that I've done so far, if you're interested in any of the Daily Art Hour books, definitely go check them out. They are on Amazon. So, yeah, so that's what that was. Again, this is another alcohol marker page. There is some pencil shading on parts of it. I think it turned out all right. I had to do some tweaking to his body because at first it wasn't what I wanted and nothing was working, so I walked away from it for a night and then came back to it and erased everything and redid it. So this one was kind of all over the place. I just wanted to color something cute, and the sky was, I took a couple of pencils and I did different spots. It took me a while. I think it took me 2 days or whatever because my hand was getting cramped, and I just went for it. Alcohol marker for the clouds, and yeah, the rest of this is all colored pencil and the background. It's funny, I did the background all in colored pencil, but the clouds in alcohol markers. That's too funny. One of my favorite pages from the Spooky Family books is this one, the Love Potion picture. I used alcohol marker for the entire thing, and then I just outlined in paint pen, and even the border is paint pen, and I was, oh my gosh, I was over the moon with how this one turned out. So excited. I gotta reprint this one and color it again because I absolutely love this picture. And see the difference, maybe, between this one and the other one. Color choices, too. This is from Daily Art Hours Christmas books. I wanted to stick with blues and kind of icy purple kind of colors. And I think I achieved it well with this page. And this is another page I was super proud of because I loved the way he turned out. And I used glitter for the snowflakes, which turned out well. So, an alcohol marker for the background. Another Daily Art Hour one. I was in love with this page, and I'm still in love with it. I love the way he turned out with the colors. This was my exact look I was going for with him, and I was really happy with the way he turned out. And then the sky and just everything kind of worked together. But I was so into this page, and I think that's why it went so well, because I was so focused and hyper-focused on the page, to be honest. So, another one, like that one, I was hyper-focused on this one. And yeah, I used chalk pastels in my cloud stencil for the background, and I really focused on this page and had fun with it. Yep. I focus on all my pages, to be honest. Just, I don't know, certain ones I'm just more into. This is another one. This is my enchanted tree, because there was an enchanted tree event, and I enchanted it up with all the glitter, to be honest. And because it was enchanted tree, I added a little bit of a glow behind it. Because, you know, to me, if you're walking in a forest and there's an enchanted tree, there's going to be like a little glow around it. And I colored it purple. But I was really, really happy with it. So I'm happy with all my pages. It shows my growth and how much hard work I've really put into this, I guess, hobby, or, you know, what else would I call it? How much effort and time I have put into this part of my life, you know. So this is, okay, now we're into the Coco Wyo stuff. As you can see, like the pastels now, as I've grown, I'm really more, I've learned how to use certain colors together, and yeah. This one is from, I think it's their Cute Things book, or Adorable, or Cute Stuff book, I think it is. But this is from Coco Wyo's tattoo coloring book, I believe it was. The first tattoo book. And I did the eye rainbow because the, you know, one eye sort of thing. And yeah, I added some glitter there and into the eye. And the black dots I added everywhere to make it look really. And I used this color chalk pastel, which made it kind of pop even more. So now this hot mess, I had colored the page. All of these little things were on the page. So what happened was the page ended up getting wet, so I had to cut all the little things out. And the background that I had, actually it was the ink background, kind of smudged everywhere and over, and it was just a hot mess. Which it still is a hot mess, but, you know, I cut them all out and pasted them to this haphazardly, and, yeah, that's that. I mean, the background the first time was a crap show, and, yeah, so let's move on from there. This is the first time I used my ink pads. They were cheapo ink pads, no distress inks or anything, but first time I did use them, and this is how it turned out. And I mean, not the greatest, but I didn't mind it. This is from their tattoo book as well, Coco Wyo. And yeah, I did the alien spaceship, and took me a bit, but I did get there, and a lot of my friends really loved the page, so what can I say? This one was fun to do. I like when there are items like this on a page, because it gives you some practice on, you know, certain elements of a page or certain elements throughout your coloring journey. So it was all colored pencil, no alcohol marker base, just straight pencil. This is from Coco Wyo's Mythical Creatures book, and when I first got the book, I was kind of on the fence about it. Like, am I really going to color this? It's not really my kind of, you know, mythical creatures. I thought it was, because they only showed certain ones, and you have to buy the book off of those samples, because, you know, what you see is usually, you know, so that's what I did. When I got it, I wasn't sure, but then I kept going through, and this guy kept, you know, this is the one that kept saying, color me, color me, color me. So I pulled it out, wasn't sure how I was going to go, and then I decided I wanted to go kind of like an Avatar feel, because this part on his head and his stripes and stuff. So I had an Avatar feel. So that's what I went with, and when I was done, I was really glad I actually did, you know, let myself go and have fun and enjoy the process of the page. So that's how he turned out. Another pastel-y page, but super fun. And yeah, lots of paint pen. This is when I got, the first time I got my oil-based paint pens. And I was trying to test them out, so I tested them out on these right here, and I really liked the way the colors and everything, and I did all this in the background with them. But this is all colored pencil, so is this, and yep, I love it. Almost done with this pile. Alice in Wonderland, Coco Wyo, Chibi Girls, I think it is, and chalk pastel, like I did with the other. I scraped a little, used the cotton ball, you know, and then put another color on top and did the same thing. The hair is all alcohol marker except for the shading, but the rest of it is colored pencil, and I was happy with her. Really happy with the outcome. This one gave me super galaxy vibes, as you can see on the cups. So that's what I went with. And I need to do another page from this Tea Time book. I have a few pages picked out, but I do want to retry it because I forgot how cute they turn out when you're done coloring them. When I flip through the book now, it's like, I really don't want to do that. I mean, there's so much work into it. And sometimes, you know, that so much work turns, you know, into hyper focus. This page is from one of the witchy books that they have, Coco Wyo, and I had fun with this one. I used a lot of metallic and glitter paint pens on this one. And I was super happy with this one. I know I say that about a lot of my pages, but I really am proud of my coloring and how far I've come in my coloring journey. And so you should be as well yourself, depending on where you are in your coloring journey. Be very proud of what you've accomplished over the years as you see it, like when you look back at it. Really, you know, toot your own horn, to be honest. I mean, it's a lot of work and a lot of time you've put into this stuff. And that time and effort that you have put in, you've achieved something, you know. So I say be proud of that. This is from Colored Caramel. Something happened with his nose when I was coloring his skin tone, and it screwed up. I think it got mixed in with the black from the eye, so I had to take my black paint pen and just black out his nose and do that. But alcohol marker base, colored pencil on top, and I was just looking, sorry, not over. I was happy with it. I mean, I'm kind of me. I'll probably reprint it and redo it, but this was a buddy color at some point with Star Sketch and Miss Sweet's Crafting Therapy from Colored Caramel's free cute kawaii mix book. When you sign up on coloredcaramel.com for their newsletter and stuff, you get a free coloring book of pages that aren't in any of their books, and we colored this one. I used alcohol marker for majority of it. I think all of it I did, actually, as you can see. And I just did the embellishments in paint pen. But I was happy with her. This one is alcohol marker and paint pen as well. And some pencil shading on certain parts of it. But, yeah, whoops. Another one of my favorites is this one. It's all alcohol marker except for this guy. He's pencil. But the rest of it is all alcohol marker. And I used a white paint pen to give it that highlight of juicy kind of flowing. I didn't do a background because there was enough going on the page that I didn't want to take away from it. So this is from one of their cute pastel goth books, and I used paint pen for the background here and alcohol marker for all of it. And did I do pencil shading? I did some pencil shading. Oh, I did do pencil shading on her too. Yeah, I did do pencil shading, so there's that one. This one I'd love to redo again. It's from one of her Christmas books, but I really do want to redo. I like the whipped cream and the way I did these marshmallows. I absolutely love the way I did that. But I love the fact that the, green, pink, purple, and blue. But I wouldn't mind kind of changing up the color of the mug and the different cookies and stuff like that. So it would be fun to redo it. It would be fun to redo a lot of these pages. This is from I love Colored Caramel's doodle books. They have so many of them, but I love all of them. And I did this one, and I love this one. It's got some glitter, it's got some pizza, it's got koalas, and it's got some silliness, and it's got lots of love put into it, so definitely. Another Kokeshi Cutie girl from her Kokeshi Cutie books. This is one of the first books I got by Colored Caramel, to be honest. And I used I think it was either my Marcos or my Scpirrer Farbens, but yeah, straight coloring, and yep, I really enjoyed it. I didn't have paint pens back there and stuff, so as you can tell, I didn't do the eyes. Another one from one of her Colored Caramel's first books. that she created, and this I would not change. Regardless, I love the sky. I love all of these little guys. They're just perfect to me. A lot of alcohol marker basing, but I absolutely adore the way it turned out. So, yeah. This was kind of a bleh from... This was a hiccup from Colored Caramel. I used a little bit of foiling, and I used metallic paint pen and glitter and stuff like that, and alcohol marker and colored pencil, and oh my gosh. But the glitter, I wish I had done differently. The frame around it, I wish I had done differently. Then the gold foiling, kind of iffy on that. The outlining of her hair, I wasn't happy about. It was just, to me, it's a hot mess. You might love it, but me, I'm just like, no. This is one of my favorite pages I've done. It's super simple. I added the rainbow to this page because it wasn't there. Yeah, I used colored pencil for her. And again, the rainbow wasn't there. I added it in with paint pen. So, another one of my favorite pages was this one. I think it's from her Pastel Goth coloring book. And the colors I used, one for her hair and all of her. These colors together are absolutely, I just love them. They kind of give me like a manga feel with the colors and the tones that just, go well together. And then I wanted to go pastel, of course, with the little bats, which turned out super adorable. So, yep. I worked really hard on these guys, and I was happy about it. I have redone this one. I don't think I finished it, but I have redone this one. But I do love, again, it's another page from one of her Colored Caramel's doodle books. And, yeah. It's all colored pencil. Oh. This was a buddy color with a friend of mine on Facebook, Winifred, and it is from their Colored Caramel Space Doodles book. And yeah, I outlined everything in black, which I think made it pop. I did chalk pastel, darker colors around the frame, and then I drew in these little bubbles kind of thing. And I really do love the outcome. I like the way the black outline I added makes everything, just kind of come forward and pop off the page. Another one from the Doodles book is this little cactus one. I wanted each of the cactuses to be green, but a different kind of green and different shading on it. And the pots had to be unique to each of them, and I had fun with this one. Yes, it was all green, but I used different shades of green for each and every one of them. So. This was a simple one. It was just from one of their first Colored Caramel books. It's like a Narwhal's a Real book or something. And yeah, I was just sitting watching TV one day, and I just started coloring. Wasn't anything, extravagant, but this is from their Gnomes, Easter Gnomes book, and I used alcohol markers for this one, and I used some paints and it had a stencil. I'd probably redo this one because I didn't like the way the flowers turned out from the stencil, so almost there. A few more pages, guys. This is another one from the Easter Gnomes. I wish I had done these flowers kind of similar to the boot. Yeah, my brain just was not I don't know. I don't know if it wasn't feeling it, or it just, yeah, gave up halfway through. Like, I love the way the boot turned out with the bow. And then it was like I just gave up the rest. I loved the way this turned out, the boot, like I said. But the rest of it, ugh. There's this one here, which was for, I actually won a challenge with it in one of the groups. It's supposed to be like first responders or frontline workers challenge or something, or a Red Cross, something like that. And we were supposed to color a picture, and I didn't really have much. I just found this one. So I colored it, and again, I straight colored it. Use all pencil, and everything else around them is pencil, so yeah. Another colored caramel from the Doodles book. Again, I colored all this with colored pencil. The whole thing, yep, is colored pencil. And some alcohol marker for, like, their spikes. But I wanted them each to be, you know, a different color. And there was enough of them to have a pink, a yellow, the green, the teal, the blue, and the purple. And then I took the orange. The colors that I didn't have in Dragons, I would use for the rest. This one was fun to color. I really enjoyed this one. I really, really did work hard on this one. I was happy with it. And cloud stencils again. This is the alcohol marker, and each of them have their own little personalities. I absolutely love it. And I tried not to have too many of the same colors together, so. This one, I didn't really try hard with this one, to be honest. I wanted to do rainbow, just straight down rainbow. I just wanted to try something new and different. So I took, you know, purple, and then I took a bunch of shades of purple, and I would color, you know, certain parts of the creature, you know, different colors. As you can see, like the different blues that I used here, then I used a different blue here, and then we just kind of progressed down. So this is like a light teal, and then we got into the dark, and then, you know, the greens, then the, you know, darker yellows, light yellow. I mean, it worked out great, don't get me wrong. I did like it, but I have this page already reprinted because I want to test myself and redo it properly. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not done properly, because there's no wrong way to color. So, and the last page, which is a real dud, was from Colored Caramel's Chibi Space, I believe it is. And this really didn't go the way I wanted it to. I wanted to add glitter and sparkle to this girl, and yeah, it just didn't work out. I mean, I put little star things in her hair and trying to help it, and it just, yeah, just did not want to go, but that's the glitter of it all. So yeah, anyways, that is part 4 of my coloring journey, my 12-year coloring journey. Let me know in the comments below what pages you liked, what you thought, your opinions on anything that I discussed during the video. Yeah, just let me know. Please, no rude comments. There's no need, and it's not necessary for the nasty comments. It's, yeah. If you don't have anything nice, don't say anything at all. And yeah, so remember to stay safe, be kind, keep smiling. Happy coloring, my colorful dreamers. And dun, 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 until the next one, I will see you then. Bye.